Opening a dispensary is not easy. It's not just about being compliant or making sure you have the right licenses or even just about building a cool brand. I've seen dispensary owners spend months and drop tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars only to have their store crash out months later. And this is because of decisions they made even before their store even opened. These mistakes are common, but they're completely unavoidable if you know exactly what to look out for. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest launch mistakes that dispensaries make and what you need to do to make sure you avoid the biggest pitfalls so that your dispensary can have the best store launch ever. The first mistake that honestly I see a lot of dispensary owners make is that they don't build out their marketing plan before opening the store. I get it. You have compliance, you have regulations, you have landlords to deal with, you finally got this space, you have to talk with the contractors to get the store open. You have all these things that you need to put in place, and you figure once you finally get the store built out, then you're going to be able to capture as many customers as possible. The problem is that you want your store to make as much money as it possibly can straight out the gate. If you wait to develop a marketing plan, to develop buzz for your store, not before it opens, then you're going to have a big problem. And just because you have a store that is just out there and it says grand opening, we're opening soon, that sort of thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to come in just because you open up magically. You need to figure out a way to generate buzz and anticipation before the store launches in the first place. So getting your graphics, getting your logo, getting whatever flyers and branding available ahead of time to generate that buzz and anticipation. It is a new store launch, right? So when you're launching, have a game plan. What does 90 days out from store launch look like? What does 60 days look like? What does 30 days look like? And then how do you keep on building from there? And then the last 10 days are very crucial. You need to build up your email list by providing some sort of incentive and make it a very, very good one, because you want to try and capture as many people as you possibly can. So let's say you build out a 25% off discount and you generate as much buzz as you possibly can. Scan the QR code and give us your email or phone number, that works too. But what ends up happening is that because you're able to build out and preemptively build out buzz and anticipation, you're going to be able to market to these customers already. And then you're going to give something valuable away. It could be a discount, and then you can also offer a gift afterwards, right? Because then you'll be able to develop proof of concept. You're going to have your first maybe core customers, maybe those first 100,000 customers, depending on how big your store is and your ambitions are. Those can be what would be like your core community members who will permanently have access to things that other customers will not get. That will be your core biggest fan 100 list of people that you can then rely on to keep on coming in and then produce, the financial projections that you're looking to get. Obviously, you have your stakeholders and investors involved, but the biggest problem I see is that dispensaries don't generate buzz before they start opening. They generate buzz while it's open already, but you've already spent all of your money to be able to get to the store launch. So you want to be able to get as many people coming in as possible. Tactically, what does that look like? Obviously, you want to have your website ready. You want to have some sort of offer ready. You want to have a way to capture your customer list, and then you want to have a way to email your customer list afterwards. Whether that's with some simple emailing platform like Klaviyo, whether that's you want to decide to use Alpine IQ straight out the gate, you need to make sure you have these things in place to make sure you can generate that buzz before your store launches in the first place. The second piece of the puzzle is not having a real digital strategy, or in this specific situation, a real website strategy. So a lot of people, they might focus on the social media, which I think is great. If you're new to the industry, you're also going to be new to your account possibly getting suspended. So I've done a bunch of videos talking about why I don't necessarily rely too much on social media. You need to use social media to showcase to your customers that you do exist. You need to have some sort of digital footprint, but your website means so much. It's your 24/7 salesman, and it depicts your dispensary all of the time. So this isn't time for you to have some sort of family member that has built out websites in the past to be able to go build and hobble together some Frankenstein website together. You need a website that's compliant, that's fast, that's SEO optimized, that's built to drive conversions. And what do I mean conversions? You just opened your store, you've generated as much buzz as you possibly can, but your website doesn't convert the people who are visiting your store then into paying customers, right? And if you don't have a website to do that, then your customers are just going to look at your website and bounce off because it's taking too long to load, or it's not going to be able to convey the right strategy as best as it possibly can. Very quickly, we do websites and we do them specifically for dispensaries. So if at all you want a website for your own dispensary, please go take a look in the description below and you can have a call with me directly. Anyways, back to the video very quickly. The website's very, very important, right? You need to have your home page. You probably have your about page. You want to have your mission statement, but then you also want to have your e-commerce set up already. Do you want to go with Dutchie? Do you want to go with Buddy if you're in Canada? Do you want to go with Jane? Do you want to go with a Dispense? There's so many different platforms that you need to make sure is done properly, that you need to make sure that your website is also compliant. Do you have your age gate? Do you have the compliance information in the footer? So if you're in California, do you have the state regulations on cannabis? If you're in Ontario, do you have the badge? There's a lot of different things that you need to make sure your website's good enough, or else you're going to get in trouble and fined by whatever governing body is in charge of cannabis in the first place. But the website is very, very important. You want to make sure it's also mobile optimized. When you take a look at your website, you're going to see that approximately 80% of people who visit your website will be visiting via mobile, and about 20% would be visiting via laptop, give or take. You also want to highlight your location. You want to highlight the products, highlight your FAQs. You also want to make sure you have the pop-up so that when your store is doing your pre-launch, you can collect as many emails as possible. And then from an SEO perspective, there's a lot of technical things like including schema and all that stuff, but you want to make sure you have a proper website strategy. Gone are the days where you can just go and have like a one-pager website up and then that's pretty much it. You want your website to act as an additional marketing tool. Everything you do within your business needs to have a reason for why it exists in the first place. We already know that the cannabis industry is super, super tough and super competitive. So we want to have intention with the different things that we're doing, and your website plays an optimal part in making sure that you can convince people who know you exist to turn into paying customers. Hey, very quickly, if you're enjoying this video, I have something very special for you. In the links in the description below, you can check out the workbook that goes along with this specific video. It includes checklists, summaries, and a step-by-step action plan to take your dispensary to the next level. In addition to this, I have a cool little bonus where when you download your workbook, you'll have access to all the previous workbooks I've created, and then also all the future workbooks I'm going to create. So you're going to want to get it in the description below. Now back to the video. The last piece of the puzzle is that you need to make sure you have a system to set up for customer retention. And that follows two main things. That follows the actual software implementation of some sort of loyalty program. Maybe use Springbig, maybe use Alpine IQ, maybe use some of the other loyalty programs out there. But the other bit is making sure that you develop a good enough business so that people end up coming back. The 4 pillars of loyalty that I've essentially looked at are: do you have a good product? Do you have good pricing? Do you have a good customer experience? And then do you have a good buying experience, right? If you don't have those 4 main things covered, then you're going to have a very tough time getting customers to keep coming back and purchasing with you. Long time ago, maybe not a long time ago, a little while ago, I had a consultation with one of my clients, and we were ranking them very, very well for SEO. They're ranking #1 and their traffic was doing very well, but their sales were dropping over the course of, let's say, the past 18 months or so. The problem was, like, he said, "Hey, Brandon, what's going on? My sales are going down." Like I said, his traffic was doing well, his rankings were doing well. So I asked to take a look at his sales data. When I took a look at it, 70% of people who purchased from him the first time did not purchase a second time. So you need to make sure you have some sort of loyalty structure put in place. When customers are coming in, do the bud tenders, greet them and say hello? Do you have some sort of way to track customer deals that they've purchased, and then you can retarget them based on email? So Alpine IQ has a really cool software where you can go on the back end and say, okay, well, these customers are more likely than not to purchase pre-rolls, so I'm going to give them a pre-roll deal. So these are the different things that we want to do to make sure that people keep on coming back and purchasing over again. Because the benefit that you're going to get as a dispensary are from your repeat customers. The majority of your purchases are going to be from customers that come in and repeat over and over and over again. And ideally, you want to do what's best to make sure they never end up leaving. In the theoretical scenario, if you had a business and customers never left, you don't need to sell new people. So you need to make sure that you have a piece of retention to make sure people keep on coming back. If you've done the right job in building up the hype and anticipation as per point 1, in most cases in your grand opening, in that first little piece, you're going to have the most amount of customer velocity. These are where most of the customers are going to come in until a little bit later, until the brand is out there and the community is out there, and then the marketing is done even better. In general, your grand opening is going to be the best because you're going to tell your friends, you're going to tell your family, you're going to tell everyone to come about. up, then what you want to do is make sure you capture as many of those people as possible and they keep on coming back. Because when you have a robust loyalty strategy, it ensures that your customer base, or that the base of money that you can make every single month, is at least going to stay steady. And then we can put gas on the fire using marketing, using SEO, having a high converting website to make sure people keep on coming in. To recap everything, the three biggest mistakes that people do is they don't have a marketing plan, they don't build up hype and anticipation before the store opens, they don't have a real website strategy, they just have something that they put up online with a domain, but they don't really put any thought into it. And then the third one is that you don't have any system for customer retention. You need to make sure you have a way for your customers to keep on coming back, or else none of this matters. As I normally say, in these videos, I can only be so generic, I can only be so custom towards the advice that I give. If you want more specialized and in-depth consultation, check the link in the description below, and I'll go and I'll help assess your exact situation, whether you own 1 dispensary, whether you own 5 dispensaries, whether you own 16 dispensaries. Each bucket will be completely different. Go visit cannabismarketing.com/schedule, and then you can book a call with me directly, and then I'll go and I'll assess and give you feedback on everything as best as I possibly can, based on my past 6 years of learning in the cannabis experience and based on my past 10 years of marketing experience as a whole. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hey, according to YouTube, this is the best next video for you. Go ahead and click it now.